Hey guys, how's it going? Bill here. Just wanted to finally sit down and talk about the game that we were waiting to play for 17 years. 14 if you're counting from 2005 with Kingdom Hearts 2. I've been waiting forever. You've been waiting forever. I went through it a couple of times. I wanted to give everybody a chance to play it for themselves. Specifically, what I want to do today is just hit on my 5 biggest positives, my 5 biggest negatives of Kingdom Hearts 3. So first I'm going to start with the negative, start low and end up going high. My first big complaint about Kingdom Hearts 3 has got to be the songs in Frozen. Now, just for starters, we just had a shot-for-shot remake of Let It Go. The whole song, Sora, Donald, and Goofy are occasionally in the background. It was literally just the scene from Let It Go just happening in front of you for the full 2.5, 3 minutes, however long it is. I thought that was really bizarre. Moreover, do you want to build a snowman while narration is going on from Anna, who later also sings a couple bars randomly, and Sora's just sitting there like, I felt like it was out of place. Better than the alternative where they go too heavy into it like they did with Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts 2. I just thought it was strange, and especially do you want to build a snowman? That was just uncomfortable. So that's number 5. Number 4 of my 5 complaints, that was just completely out of left field. I thought it was not only unnecessary, but it stopped the momentum of the game. Just so you can collect 300 crabs from Port Royal, each barrel gives you about 5, and you need 300 of these bad boys, and they're all over the place. It was grueling, it took too long, and the scene following right after it was just confusing and strange. It really turned me off of the level until I went back. It turned me off of Pirates until my second time hitting that world. My number 3 complaint, the worlds were way too big. Not as empty and big as Dream Drop Distance, but it was definitely cutting it close. There were times where I was getting lost or I was getting confused. It was amazing, like the level of details and the heights to everything and how seamless a lot of the transitions looked, and I shouldn't be getting bored. I have this amazing combat system at my disposal. There's so many ways to maneuver your way through the world that I shouldn't be getting bored when I'm going through the ice maze or parts of the woods in Rapunzel or San Francisco itself. I know a lot of people have been talking about that online. I hate to admit it, but I was super looking forward to Big Hero 6. That whole world was a huge bummer, especially the boss fight. But just going through San Francisco, it felt really empty. It felt like I had just beat a sandbox game and there were no more enemies for me to fight. As much as I loved the combat system, I wish that we could dual wield, but moreover, I wish that it was just difficult. It was way too easy to get through it. As soon as I saw at the Moogle shop the Kupo coin that you could buy, I thought, oh man, that's basically an automatic Phoenix down, the equivalent of a guaranteed King Mickey coming in, and I won't give up. And honestly, nothing really hit me as too big of a challenge. That was a huge disappointment. Even on Proud mode, it's not difficult. There's no critical mode. Everyone's talking about that. Even the secret boss, by the time I had leveled up, I was around level maybe 50, 55, and I just tore into him like tissue paper, and that was such a huge bummer for me. But my number 1 complaint about Kingdom Hearts 3 is that it honestly doesn't feel 100% finished. For example, a lot of the mini games didn't feel like we were getting the full scope of them. The Winnie the Pooh one was just kind of there. It was 2 different versions of like Candy Crush, Bejeweled kind of phone games. That was really underwhelming. You have all this technology at your disposal. You have the Unreal Engine. You have the PS4 capabilities. You've been so creative in the past with your Winnie the Pooh mini games when you've used them before, but this time it was just nothing. Cooking with Remy from Ratatouille, it was just kind of tedious and boring, and that really bummed me out. And you get reminded about those damn ingredients so much walking around these worlds. You basically just get rewarded with like a minimal repetitive cutscene and a pretty picture of fake food. That made me feel like maybe there was something missing to those mini games. Same with the Riku, I don't even want to say levels, but moments. I was really hoping you were going to get to actually go through the dark world. You already had the data all there from 0.2. You could have just used that and had us go through with Riku and King Mickey, and you could have given us a full level. You didn't even get to pick your shortcuts for your magic spells the 2 times you fought as Riku, and I thought that was really disappointing. Same with when you play as another character later, trying to stay spoiler free, and then on top of that, Kairi's cutscenes and her story, and I know that a lot of people are disappointed with her lack of character. You also got to go to every world once, and that made me feel like this game just wasn't complete, and it felt like the big Keyblade War, the climactic event we've been waiting for. I absolutely loved it, don't get me wrong, but it felt like it was was just time to tie up loose ends and wrap everything up. And it felt like once I finished the Disney stuff, I got to just steer right into finishing all the Kingdom Hearts stuff. And I wish it ebbed and flowed a little more. Maybe you got to play as some more characters. When it got to the Kingdom Hearts parts, When it got to the Kingdom Hearts parts, I wasn't disappointed. I was absolutely engrossed. It was very satisfying. It was very enriching, both emotionally and just as storytelling in general. Same thing with the Disney worlds. I thought how they incorporated story into those with the world of Kingdom Hearts was more intertwined and enriching than any of the previous installments. Specifically, surprisingly, Frozen, but Toy Story blew me away. The tie-ins with Tangled. There were so many little things or big choices, anything in between even, that my jaw was just agape. I was just so surprised with how they chose to justify all these worlds, and it didn't feel random like it did in the original lineup from just the trailers and announcements. That always made me feel like everything was just kind of picked at random. Every single world had such a strong purpose, except for Winnie the Pooh. That was just kind of there. A special shout out to the Instagram transitions. Those were just clunky, weird, and uncomfortable. There's pictures in here where it's in the middle of a serious, huge emotional moment and hashtagged it the weirdest hashtags, and the hashtags have little hearts around them. I was so nervous the first time I saw that loading screen with the Instagram posts because I did not want social media in my Kingdom Hearts. We did not get that, thankfully. Those transitions were just strange, and it felt very pandering to, what's cool with the teens. Gummy ships at times were really weird and off-putting, but once I got the hang of it, and I actually really liked it. It's the best I've ever seen it. But those are ultimately just my 5 big ones. My 5th one I know had a lot of bullet points, but to sum it up, this game doesn't feel like it was finished. Maybe we'll get a final mix later, but they haven't confirmed any of that, so as of right now, I can only say this is Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe there'll be DLC, they haven't confirmed that. Maybe the secret movie alluded to DLC. We don't know. They have not confirmed anything. They have not told us anything about a Kingdom Hearts 3 final mix or any DLC or any patches or installments past the secret movie patch. So I just have to take it at what it's worth, and this is Kingdom Hearts 3, and it doesn't feel like it's finished. But I'd almost rather just wait another 9 months if it meant I could get the full concepts, the full game, the full story. But who knows? Maybe they'll add some DLC, maybe they'll fix some things, add a secret boss, add critical mode. It just feels like a lot of stuff is missing, and it's really off-putting. Now, it's time to throw away the negatives and let's get into the positives. I absolutely loved the story. Like I said earlier, how it intertwines into the worlds. I was openly weeping playing Toy Story. It has nothing to do with the grand scheme of the story. It was just how the characters I loved from Toy Story were interacting with the story and the characters I love in Kingdom Hearts. Everything had a justification for why that world was there, why it was picked by Square, why you were there, why you were interacting with these characters, how you were going to help them, and how they were in turn going to help you. And I loved that. The combat, despite it being super floaty, which turns off a lot of people, once I accepted the fact that it was going to be floaty and I was going to be flying around in the air a lot, I got over it real fast, and honestly, I loved it. Being able to switch keyblades on a dime, that was really cool. I love that there's so many different things you can do, so many different avenues. I barely touched a single summon because I was just so engrossed with Keyblade transformations, with flow motion, and just straight up smacking them around with my Keyblade. After a while, I started to learn different techniques I could use, like stacking the weapons so that way I could just flip through the Toy Story hammer, Hercules' shield, and second form with Kingdom Key. I never got bored with the combat. Something I will say about this game that I absolutely appreciated as a diehard fan is I felt like this really did give service to those who have stayed loyal, who went back and played every single game again, watched every cutscene. Anyone who's been replaying the games, catching up in time, if you did your homework, you got so much out of it. Even going through Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, back cover. Overall, I'm going to give Kingdom Hearts 3 9.5 out of 10. A 95%, a solid A. Definitely wasn't perfect, but very close to it in my opinion. It was just honestly fun. It knew that it had to be big, and it was. It definitely delivered in most places. I wish that it had the time and the confidence to follow through with a lot of its smaller ideas and make them bigger and more gripping portions of the game. But that whole final third onward to the end, I couldn't stop. I just kept playing until the sun came up. I finished the game, watched the post-credits Marvel scene, and just passed out and waited for the secret ending to patch the next day. I wish the ending had a little bit more of a concrete feeling and then we were moving forward, because they had enough to leave you with to move forward to another project without having to leave less of a footing in the main ending. But I understand why they went with that, and it still worked. It still got me hooked. I can't wait for more. Hopefully there's DLC. Hopefully there's a final mix. Hopefully it won't be the price of a whole nother game. But I absolutely loved it. It lived up to almost all of my expectations, which is more than I can say for a lot of things that are returning after making you wait 15 years or so. But there you guys go. Those are my thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 3. What did you think of it? I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, let me know in the comment section. If there's something I missed that you didn't like, let me know as well. I really want to hear everybody's feedback on it. I love getting a discussion going with you guys. I like talking to you guys in the comments section. We have more scary games Saturdays, Sundays coming to you this weekend, and I'll see you next week with another First Time Tuesday. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone in the Kingdom Hearts community who's been finding my videos, liking them, commenting, subscribing. It's been amazing just to talk to you guys about this. I'm the only person in my immediate circle of friends who play these games, and it's difficult to talk to my friends on the West Coast. So it's been really great the days leading up to the game, and then while the game was coming out, to know that I could check the comments on the channel and engage in a conversation with you guys. I always felt like I was super alone for loving Kingdom Hearts as much as I do in my circle, and it's been very comforting and reassuring to know that there's so many people out there that care about it as well. These characters, theories, all that. But yeah, if you guys want me to, I'll be continuing my Kingdom Hearts videos with theories, thoughts, things I noticed. I just wanted to give my general review right now. Maybe I'll do something spoilery later on just to start a conversation. Like, subscribe, share. I said all that. Thanks for watching, guys. May your heart be your guiding key.